Ever nodded at terms like p-value or cohort analysis and felt out of your depth? In today's data-driven world, every team relies on numbers. Yet without data literacy, those charts might as well be hieroglyphs. In this episode, we'll cover core concepts and simple habits to speak the language of data confidently. By the end, you'll spot insights in any chart with ease. Data literacy isn't optional. It's your competitive edge. It lets you spot trends before they become headlines and propose data-backed solutions instead of guesses. Plus, fluency in charts and metrics elevates your career, making you the go-to expert in meetings and project discussions. Let's demystify 3 pillars. 1. Metrics versus dimensions. Metrics, revenue, clicks, measure performance. Dimensions, date, region, provide context. 2. Correlation versus causation. 2 trends moving together, ice cream sales and accidents, don't imply one causes the other. 3. Biases. Watch for sampling, survivorship, and confirmation bias that skew insights. Understanding these fundamentals will make every data conversation more productive. Early in the pandemic, many dashboards mixed total cases, deaths, and hospitalizations, hiding critical spikes. By focusing on new cases per 100K population and filtering for regions with similar testing rates, health agencies pinpointed hotspots and sent resources exactly where they were needed. This simple shift in framing saved time and improved public communication. Adopt these habits today. 1. Spend 5 minutes daily on a public dashboard. Example, Google Trends. 2. In meetings, ask "so what?" to tie numbers to action. 3. Build a mini report. Grab a free dataset, clean it, chart one insight, and summarize in 5 slides. You've seen why data literacy accelerates decisions, learned key concepts, and picked up 3 daily habits to boost fluency. If this helps, hit like and subscribe. Comment below. Which metric will you master first? Need fast answers from your data? SQL is the tool that turns raw tables into clear reports with just a few clauses. Today you'll learn the 5 essentials. Select, from, where, group by, join, and watch a demo transforming messy sales records into a neat regional revenue summary, including filtering by date range. Databases store information in tables, rows as records, columns as fields. Relational systems like PostgreSQL or MySQL enforce primary keys to uniquely ID rows and foreign keys to link tables. Grasping this lets you join data across sources effortlessly, whether customers, orders, or inventory. 5 clauses power nearly every SQL query. Select picks columns. From names your table. Where filters rows. Group by aggregates data. Join merges tables. Plus, refine results with order by and limit to sort and cap output. Combine these, and you can answer, which region generated the most revenue last quarter? In seconds. Speed matters. 1. Index columns you filter or join on to avoid full table scans. 2. Replace select asterisk with only needed fields to cut data transfer. 3. Use explain to inspect your query plan and spot bottlenecks. 4. For complex logic, break queries into common table expressions, CTEs, for clarity and reuse. Today you learned table structure, the 5 core clauses, performance hacks, and ran a live query. If this boosted your confidence, hit like and subscribe, and download the free SQL cheat sheet linked below. Next up, data cleaning explained. Garbage in, garbage out. Drop your SQL questions below. Ever opened a dataset only to find typos, blanks, and mismatched formats? Garbage in leads to garbage out. Dirty data hides insights and misleads decisions. Today you'll see the 3 biggest data messes. Learn a simple detect, fix, validate workflow using both spreadsheets and scripts, and discover how to automate these steps so you spend less time scrubbing and more time analyzing. 3 frequent culprits derail any analysis. 1. Duplicates, identical records that inflate counts. 2. Missing values, blank entries that break your calculations. 3. inconsistent formats, date or numeric fields in multiple styles. Spotting these issues is the first step toward trustworthy data. Our three-step workflow is detect, fix, validate. Detect. Use built-in tools to flag duplicates, blanks, and format mismatches. Fix. Decide whether to remove duplicates, fill in missing entries with sensible defaults, and standardize field formats. Validate. Run summary checks to confirm your data is consistent and complete before analysis. To save time on routine cleans, record your steps as a macro in your spreadsheet tool or wrap them in a simple script function. Then schedule that process to run automatically, whether via a task scheduler or a BI pipeline, so every new dataset arrives ready to analyze. Now it's your turn. From your dataset, apply the Detect, Fix, Validate workflow to remove duplicates, fill missing values, and standardize formats. Share your before/after screenshots or describe your approach in the comments. Seeing your steps helps everyone learn. Today you tackled duplicates, blanks, and format chaos with a three-step workflow and learned how to automate it for recurring use. If this helped you, hit like and subscribe and grab the free cleaning checklist linked below. Next up, Exploratory Data Analysis Explained. Finding hidden patterns. Drop your data cleaning questions below. I'll answer them in the next video. Have you ever stared at a raw dataset and wondered where to begin? Exploratory Data Analysis, EDA for short, is your toolkit for uncovering trends, spotting anomalies, and generating hypotheses before you dive into modeling. EDA isn't about fancy models. It's about asking the right questions. Your goals are to understand distributions, uncover relationships between variables, and detect outliers that might skew your insights. You'll also learn to spot unexpected patterns, like seasonal spikes or data entry errors, so you know exactly where to focus deeper analysis. Think of EDA as a loop: question, visualize, refine, record. Start with a clear question. Which region saw a sudden dip in sales? Then plot the data, examine what you see, adjust your focus with follow-up questions, and log every finding in a notebook or a shared document. This iterative flow keeps you from getting lost in details and ensures all insights are documented for your team. Your go-to visuals include histograms for distribution, scatter plots for variable relationships, box plots for spread and outliers, and correlation heat maps for a multivariable overview. For example, a box plot can instantly reveal if one product line has far more variability in sales than another. Each chart answers a specific question and guides your next move in the EDA loop. Grab the dataset. Start by plotting a histogram of your main metric, maybe monthly revenue, then create a scatter of two related fields. Note any spikes, clusters, or odd points, and share one surprising insight in the comments. Practicing this loop solidifies your approach and helps you build intuition for what matters in your own data. Today you mastered the EDA loop, defined your goals, and learned 4 core chart types to explore data effectively. You also saw how documenting each step prevents you from backtracking later. If this helped, hit like and subscribe. Drop your biggest EDA takeaway in the comments.
Too many numbers, not enough clarity? KPIs fix that. In this episode, we'll choose a clear North Star, map supporting inputs, separate leading from lagging indicators, and set targets and cadence so every chart points to a decision, not noise. Strong KPIs are specific, comparable over time, sensitive to real change, and hard to game. Prioritize outcomes over activities. Weekly active users beats emails sent. Make the metric ownerable. Someone can influence it week to week, and observable with reliable data. Pick one North Star that reflects value delivered, like orders delivered on time or returning active users. Then build a metric tree, branches for awareness, acquisition, activation, retention, and revenue. Under each branch, list 2 to 3 high-leverage drivers. Add guardrails for quality, NPS, defect rate, and cost, unit economics, so you don't win the North Star by eroding trust or margin. Use leading indicators to predict movement, activation rate, first week retention, add to cart rate. Use lagging indicators to confirm impact, monthly revenue, on-time delivery, churn. Kill vanity metrics. Big totals without decisions attached, e.g., raw page views. Upgrade them by adding context, rate, trend, segment, so they inform action. North Star, orders delivered on time. Inputs, in-stock percent, checkout conversion, carrier success rate, average SLA, repeat purchase rate. Guardrails, refund rate, complaint tickets, average support handle time. If the North Star dips, you can trace which branch moved, stockouts, conversion friction, or delivery delays, and assign owners to interventions. Set targets by blending history, realistic baseline, with ambition, meaningful stretch. Review outcomes monthly. Review inputs weekly in a 15-minute KPI stand-up. Trend, root cause, action, owner, due date. Keep a single-page KPI sheet with definitions, formulas, and data sources. Subscribe for more. Next on episode 6, we will discuss how to turn this KPI set into an execution-ready dashboard. Dashboards should answer a specific question in under 60 seconds. We'll define audience and decisions, design a clean layout, add the right interactions, and finish with a bulletproof QA checklist. Start with who it's for and what they must decide. Executives need trend, exceptions, and confidence. Operators need today's alerts and drill downs. Write your top 5 questions. Anything that doesn't serve them is cut. Use a simple hierarchy. Row 1, North Star plus guardrails. Row 2, key drivers. Row 3, diagnostics and drill downs. Guide the eye with a Z pattern. Limit colors. Label directly. Align decimals. Avoid pies unless categories are very few. Always include comparisons versus target and versus previous period. Add just enough interactivity. Filters for date, region, and segment. A hover glossary for metric definitions, and a visible last updated timestamp. Match refresh cadence to decision cadence. No one needs minute-by-minute revenue unless they act minute-by-minute. Before launch. 1. Confirm KPI formulas match your KPI sheet. 2. Reconcile against a trusted report. 3. Check edge cases and segments. 4. Scan for outliers. Validate surprising spikes before sharing. 5. Test load time and access permissions. 6. Publish a data dictionary link for transparency. Audience first questions, crisp hierarchy, honest refresh, and rigorous QA create dashboards people trust. Subscribe for more. Episode 7 will show how to turn charts into persuasive stories. Facts inform, stories persuade. We'll craft a 3-act narrative, write headline-first slides, and use contrast and context so your audience knows exactly what to do next. Act 1. Context. Frame the problem with one chart and a single sentence. Act 2. Insight. Reveal what changed, where, and for whom. Act 3. Action. Specify the decision, owner, and timeline. Keep a one idea per slide rule. Write the takeaway as your title. Retention drops after week 2. Use callouts, arrows, and short notes to show the proof. If the slide can't stand alone, rewrite it. Replace jargon with plain language and concrete numbers. Use contrast, before versus after, control versus test, target versus actual, to guide attention. Quantify impact. Plus 3 points retention equals 12% more active users next month. Tie the recommendation to stakes, cost, risk, or opportunity. State uncertainty honestly, confidence ranges, data gaps, or assumptions. Avoid chart dumps, wall of text notes, or burying the lead. Cut anything that doesn't serve the action. Close with a plan, next measurement, owner, date. Lead with the takeaway, prove it cleanly, and end with a concrete action. Subscribe for more. Episode 8 will show how to demystify A/B test analytics so you ship with confidence. A/B testing turns opinions into evidence. Today you'll set a strong hypothesis, size the test, avoid common traps, and read results with both statistical and practical significance. Write a crisp hypothesis. Change X will increase metric Y for audience Z. Choose one primary metric. Add guardrails for quality, complaints, latency, so you don't win by breaking the experience. Define the minimum improvement worth shipping. Tiny lifts that don't pay back effort aren't wins. Randomize at the user level and keep variance mutually exclusive. Estimate sample size before you start, otherwise you'll chase noise. Run long enough to cover normal cycles. Weekday versus weekend, paydays, seasonality, so your result generalizes. Statistical significance says the effect is unlikely by chance. It doesn't say it's useful. Pair it with effect size and business impact. Also scan guardrails. If conversion rises but refunds spike, the win isn't a win. Don't peak and stop early. Pre-register your plan to resist bias. Avoid multiple unplanned comparisons. If you must explore, label it as exploratory and validate later. Prevent contamination. Users shouldn't see both variants. Document your test in a simple one-pager. Goal, variance, metrics, sample, result, decision. Clear hypothesis, correct randomization, adequate sample, and sober reading. That's trustworthy experimentation. Subscribe for more. Episode 9 will show how to dive into cohort analysis and retention. Ever seen a chart like this? It looks like a heat map, but it's actually telling a story about your users. This is a cohort analysis, and it's one of the most powerful tools for understanding user retention. Today, we're breaking it down. So what is a cohort? A cohort is simply a group of users who share a common characteristic. The most common type is an acquisition cohort, which groups users by when they signed up. For example, everyone who joined in January is one cohort. There are also behavioral cohorts, which group users by actions they took, like making a first purchase. Building a cohort chart might seem complex, but it's manageable. You can use SQL to group users and calculate their activity over time. Here's a basic template. Or, if you're using a BI tool like Tableau or Power BI, you can often create one with a few drag-and-drop pivots. Once you have your chart, the magic is in reading the patterns. Look at the diagonals. They show you how different cohorts behave at the same point in their life cycle. You can spot seasonality, like a dip in retention for cohorts acquired during the holidays. A strong, stable retention rate across cohorts is a great signal of product-market fit. Insights are great, but action is better. If you see a drop-off after week 2, you can trigger lifecycle messaging, like a targeted email with tips for getting more value. If a cohort that used a specific feature has higher retention, you can create in-app messages to educate other users about that feature. Cohort analysis helps you move from asking, "What is our retention?" to "Who are we retaining and why?" It turns data into actionable strategies. What are your biggest retention pain points? Let me know in the comments below. Have you ever stared at a chart and felt more confused than when you started? It happens. But what if I told you that with a few simple tweaks, you can make your charts clear, compelling, and impossible to ignore? Watch this. The first rule of great visualization is choosing the right chart for the job. Use a bar chart to compare categories, a line chart to show trends over time, a scatter plot to reveal relationships between two variables, and a heat map to visualize density or intensity. Get this right, and you're halfway there. Now let's talk design. 3 rules to remember. First, use minimal colors. Don't make your chart a rainbow. Use color to highlight what's important. Second, set proper scales. Your axes should always start at 0 if you're showing magnitude. Third, declutter. Remove every line, label, and shadow that doesn't add value. Your data should be the star of the show. Did you know that about 1 in 12 men are colorblind? If you use red and green to show good and bad, some of your audience won't see the difference. Use palettes that are designed for accessibility. Many tools have built-in colorblind-friendly options. It's a small change that makes your work inclusive. Animation and interactivity can be powerful, but only when they serve a purpose. Use animation to guide the viewer's eye or to show how data changes. Use interactivity to let users explore the data themselves. But keep it simple. The goal is to clarify, not to distract. Choose the right chart, design with intention, and make it accessible. That's how you create charts that pop and persuade. What's your number 1 visualization pet peeve? Let me know in the comments. Excel, Python, and BI tools like Tableau or Power BI. They can all analyze data, but which one is right for you? We put them to the test with a 10,000-row dataset to see which is the fastest, most scalable, and easiest to use. The results might surprise you. Let's break it down. Excel is everywhere and great for quick, small-scale analysis. But it struggles with large datasets and isn't built for collaboration. Python, with libraries like Pandas, is incredibly powerful and scalable. It can handle massive datasets and complex statistics, but it requires coding. BI tools are the champions of visualization and dashboards. They make it easy to share insights, but they can be less flexible for deep statistical analysis. What about cost and learning curve? Excel is often part of a Microsoft Office subscription, and many people already know the basics. Python is free and open source, but the learning curve is steeper if you've never coded. BI tools have a range of pricing, from free personal versions to expensive enterprise licenses, and they generally have a moderate learning curve. You don't have to choose just one. Many analysts start in Excel and graduate to Python when they need more power. A common hybrid workflow is to use Python for the heavy data cleaning and analysis, and then export the results to a BI tool to create an interactive dashboard. The key is to use the right tool for the right task. Let's imagine a simple forecasting project. In Excel, you might use the built-in forecast function. In Python, you could build a more sophisticated time series model. In a BI tool, you could create a forecast with just a few clicks and add a trend line to your visual. Each tool gets you an answer, but with different levels of complexity and accuracy. Excel is for quick analysis, Python is for power and scale, and BI tools are for visualization and sharing. The best analysts know how to use all three. What's your go-to data tool? Let us know in the comments. Ever wondered what the career path for a data analyst looks like? Or how much you can earn as you grow? From your first role as a junior analyst to becoming a data scientist, or even a manager, the opportunities are huge. In our series finale, we're breaking down the analytics career ladder. Your journey might start as a junior analyst, focused on reporting and dashboards. From there, you could become an analytics engineer, building the data pipelines and infrastructure. Next, you might move into a data scientist role, where you'll use machine learning to build predictive models. And eventually, you could become a manager, leading a team of analysts and data scientists. As you climb the ladder, your skills will evolve. SQL is foundational for everyone. As you progress, a deep understanding of statistics becomes crucial. For data science roles, machine learning is a must. And at every level, storytelling, the ability to communicate your findings effectively, is what will set you apart. How do you prove you have these skills? A strong portfolio is key. Recruiters in 2025 want to see real-world projects. Think beyond just cleaning a data set. Show how you identified a problem, analyzed it, and came to a recommendation. Certifications can also help, especially when you're starting out, but a portfolio of your own projects speaks volumes. So how do you keep growing? First, find a mentor who is a few steps ahead of you. Second, contribute to open-source projects. It's a great way to learn and collaborate. And third, never stop working on personal projects. Stay curious and keep building. And that's a wrap on our data analysis series. We've covered everything from A/B testing to career paths. If you've enjoyed this series, be sure to check out our other playlists on product management and digital marketing. Let us know in the comments what you want to see next, and thank you for watching.